Hey guys, I'm here today with a surprise, unexpected book haul. I really had no intention of doing one of these for a while, but kind of got carried away at the bookstore today. Yeah. Let me just say that this video might be quite long because I have a lot to say about some of the books that I bought, so just bear with me. I got 9 books. Yeah, I went to the bookstore to buy one and I come home with 9. Not really surprising. Okay, so I'm just going to get started. This first book is actually the first book in a series that I wanted to read for a while. I just never got around to it, and it is Angel Burn by L.A. Weatherly. These shiny covers never show up on this damn webcam. So frustrating. Okay, yeah, so I have a thing about angels. I love angels. I love books about angels, although, quite honestly, with the exception of the Hush Hush series, I've not really found an angel book or book series that I've really liked. But I'm always willing to try. And, yeah, and I actually went back and got this book because I saw the second book in the bargain bin. And the second book is Angel Fire. Another shiny cover. Yeah, I am not a fan of this cover. She looks like she's exploding. Yeah, but this was only $5, and when I saw this, I actually went back and I got the first book because I can't buy the second book without having the first book, even though I don't know when I'm going to read them. I'm just anal retentive that way. Yeah, so this series is about a girl named Willow who can read people's dreams and know their hopes and desires, and she meets this assassin named Alex, who is, of course, dark and brooding and your typical bad boy. Honestly, I've heard very mixed things about this series, sort of leaning toward the bad, but I like to make my mind up on my own, so I'm always willing to give a series the benefit of the doubt. So hopefully I will be able to read these soon, and I will like them, and I will tell you what I think. Yeah, so there's these two. Next book was also in the bargain bin. I grabbed it on my way up to the register because by that time I'm like, I got all these books. What's one more? It's The Black Prism by Brent Weeks, and it was $5, as you can see. Yeah, Brent Weeks is my favorite fantasy author. He wrote this series, a trilogy called the Night Angel Trilogy. And actually, there's pictures of it on the back here. I don't know how well that you can see that, but the first book. Whoa. Okay. The first book is The Way of the Shadows. The second book is Shadow's Edge, and the third book was Beyond the Shadows. And that is my favorite fantasy series. And this is actually a spin-off book for that series, and I've wanted it for a really long time. I never got it for my Kindle because, like I've told you before, if it's priced over $10, I don't usually buy it for my Kindle unless it's one of my absolute must-have. And I knew I would probably be able to get it eventually cheaper, so $5. So excited. I haven't read a fantasy book in a while, so I'm anxious to read this one. And it's huge, but as most fantasy books are, this book is, let's see, 629 pages. Yeah, so I'll be excited to read this one. Yeah, okay, so there's that. Okay, next up, I got the first 2 books from Marie Lu, and they are Legend and Prodigy. I was trying to make sure that I held up the right book at the right time. Okay, Legend and Prodigy. And these are 2 books that it seems like everybody in BookTubeville has been reading and loving. And originally I was just going to get them for my Kindle. But then I discovered when I was in Kmart the other day and I was flipping through this book that they do the whole different colored fonts thing. Each character has a different colored font. And you know me, I'm a sucker for that. I think it's cool. Plus I absolutely love these covers. They're so cool. I have heard that the ending of this book is going to rip my heart out. But how is that different from other books that I've read lately? I'm used to it by now. Yeah, but I'm anxious to read these. These are dystopian, I believe. Um, yeah, and I've heard people compare them to the Hunger Games. Not a humongous fan of the Hunger Games personally, but I heard she's a really great author, and I'm anxious to read these. So hopefully by the end of the month. Well, no, I've got maybe beginning of April. Maybe these will be like at the top of my list for April. So yeah. Okay, next book. Another one I've wanted since it came out, and I was arguing with myself as to whether or not I should wait until the price goes down. But I saw it, and I had to have it, so I got it. And it is Scarlet by Marissa Mayer. I absolutely loved the first book, Cinder. It's weird. I've seen a lot of people actually talk about buying this book, and they're saying how they didn't really like Cinder. And I'm like, how could you not like that book? It was so awesome. It was like a fairy tale retelling of Cinderella, but with cyborgs. What's not to love? I mean, come on. And Marissa Mayer is just a great author. I mean, I flew through that first book. And this is the continuation of that story, but this time it is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. So it should be cool. And oh my god, this cover. Look at that cover. It's I love red and blue and white on a cover. It pops so well. And I sound like somebody on the like a TV design show like Project Runway or something. But look at it. It's gorgeous. I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at the cover. Anyway, okay, so happy, super duper excited to get this one. Yeah. Okay, this is actually a book that I had on my Kindle. I think someone gifted it to me, but I saw somebody else talking about it in another book haul, and they opened it up and they showed how pretty and cool it looked. And it was kind of just sitting there next to another book that I got, and I just grabbed it without like thinking twice about it. And it is Alison Zombieland by Gina Showalter. You guys might remember a couple weeks ago I read a couple of books by her in her Angels of the Dark series, and I loved them. And I've read a couple books in her Lords of the Underworld series, and I like them too. I'm a big fan of her writing. She's a really great author. She writes with a lot of humor, which I always appreciate. And this is a YA book. And number one, I love Alice in Wonderland. And number two, I love zombies. So put the two together, it is a win-win for me, okay? And this picture, the cover, again, it's not showing up that well, but it's beautiful. The front cover. And on the back, I love that you have the little rabbit. And this is the thing that made me want to buy it when this other person was talking about it. On the front, instead of saying Alice in Zombieland, it says off with their heads. And then the inside. It's so cool. Oh my god. I'm totally geeking out, I swear. That's what I do best, so yeah. Anyway, it's about this girl named Alice. I'm assuming, yes, Alice Bell, whose parents die. And it's sort of a apocalyptic end of the world type thing. It says, had anyone told Alice Bell that her entire life would change course between one heartbeat and the next, she would have laughed. From blissful to tragic, innocent to ruined, please. But that's all it took. One heartbeat, a blink, a breath, a second, and everything she knew and loved was gone. Her father was right. The monsters are real. So, yes. I love the pretties. You know, I'm a total book cover whore, so yeah, I had to have this one. Okay, and this is... I kind of knew that I wanted to buy this book when I went to the bookstore today, but it wasn't my main purpose of going. And then I almost couldn't find it. I had to ask somebody to help me. I've seen a whole bunch of people do reviews lately about this book saying how amazing it is. I saw the book trailer. It sounded really freaking cool. And I just had to pick it up. So it is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This is a dystopian. And I'm not exactly 100% sure exactly what it's about because everybody's been really vague in their reviews, because I guess they don't want to spoil things, which is good because I hate being spoiled for books. Um, but it's a dystopian and it's about this virus or plague or something that wipes out most children, but the children who don't die um, end up having these abilities and they get sent off to like these camps and they get put into different classes by color, like red and green and stuff like that. And yeah. It says when Ruby woke up on her 10th birthday, something about her had changed. Something frightening enough to make her parents lock her in the garage and call the police. Something that got her sent to Thurmond, a brutal government rehabilitation camp. She might have survived the mysterious disease that had killed most of America's children, but she and the others emerged with something far worse. Frightening abilities they could not control. Now 16, Ruby is one of the dangerous ones. So, sounds awesome. Super, super awesome. And yeah, usually I don't buy like the first book of a series if the other books aren't out yet, because when I finish a book and I like it and it's a series, I like to be able to get the second book, but sometimes you make exceptions, and this is one of the exceptions. So yeah, okay. Now, people, now we get to the reason why I went to the bookstore to begin with. And this is my only day off from work, and the rest of my week is going to be insane. So, the only reason I got in my car and drove for almost half an hour to go to Books A Million today was so I could have this book in my hands this morning, because I could not wait to get it through Amazon. I could not just settle to have it on my Kindle. I had to have the actual book. Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. Oh my god. Look at this cover. Okay, so the first thing I did when I walked in the store, first of all, it wasn't with the new releases, and I was freaking out. I was like, where's the book? Because stupid dumbass me last week for some reason thought it was coming out on Thursday, so I planned this trip out to Books A Million before I had to go to work. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because it would have wasted all my time and gas, and it wasn't even out yet. I don't know what made me think it came out last Thursday, but anyway, I didn't see it, and I was freaking out, and I went over to the YA section, and it was there, and I was like, why you be dissing my book, yo? I mean, come on. Why isn't it at the front of the store with all the other new releases? Anyway, I can't believe I just said that. Anyway, yeah, so the first thing I did when I grabbed it off the shelf was peel off this ungodly, ugly, huge sticker for the Mortal Instruments movie that was like covering half of Tessa's face. Really, people? Really? I hate stickers to begin with, but you're gonna cover up the character on the book's face? Ugh, anyway, the second thing I did, I'm not gonna lie, people, I'm not gonna like try and act all high and mighty. The second thing I did, I flipped to the last page of the book because I had to know. I had to know. I haven't done that in years, literally. I usually try not to do that. I used to do it when I was a kid, but I literally have not done that in years. But I could not stop myself. I had to. I had to know how things ended up with Jem, Will, and Tessa, and I'm not going to spoil anything. All I'm going to say is that by the end of the book, I will be sobbing like a baby, and yeah, if for no reason, it's going to be because the series is over, and because I love the series. It's my second favorite book series. Cassandra Clare used to be my favorite author. She kind of was dethroned big time by Karina Haley, but yeah, this series, The Infernal Devices, is the prequel series to The Mortal Instruments, which is another one of my favorite series. But see, I was talking about this with one of my friends the other day. The Mortal Instruments series was just going to be a trilogy, and I really, really, really wish they had left it at a trilogy, because I think the ending of City of Glass was a perfect way to end their story. I really hated the fact that she decided to extend it out to 6 books, especially considering how much I really didn't like City of Fallen Angels. City of Fallen Angels. And because of that, I still have not read City of Lost Souls, which is the next book. But if she had decided to continue this into 6 books, I would have been a happy, happy girl, because I love this world. I love the characters. I love everything about it. and I'm gonna be so sad that this is the last book. So sad. I'll probably cry while reading the entire book, not just the ending. But yeah. I was kind of hoping, because it says collector's first edition, I was really hoping there was going to be like an extra thing like Clockwork Prince. Yeah, it was Clockwork Prince was the second book. Had the letter from Will to his parents that broke my freaking heart. But this doesn't have anything extra, which whatever. Anyway, this was the reason I went to the bookstore, and I was so excited. And I think the reason I was on a high when I actually had this in my hands was the reason that I ended up buying all the other books. But I don't really care, because I'm imposing a book buying ban starting in April. I can't do it for this month because I have too many books coming out that I'm excited about that I can't wait to buy. But yeah, for the entire month of April, I am not buying any books. We'll see how that goes if I actually survive and it actually goes that way. Yeah. This, oh my, the cover. Oh, look at it. It's gorgeous. I mean, her face, not really what I pictured Tessa to look like, but whatever. Um, yeah. I know this book is just going to rip my heart out and stomp all over it because Clockwork Prince did that, and this is the last book in the series. Yeah. I really want to say something, but I can't because I can't spoil it. But yeah, so obviously this is a book that I am going to start today. I'm going to try really hard to make it last. I doubt that it will. I mean, it's the longest book in the series. It's like 600 pages, but even with that, I'll probably have it done in a couple of days. And I will do a review. Yeah, so anyway, you guys, that's my haul. Like I said, I wasn't really expecting to do one, but what can you do? Yeah, so if you guys want to see me do reviews for any of the books I talked about, just let me know, and I will do my best to follow your wishes. But until then, you guys, I will talk to you later. Yes, my ass needs to get on the couch and start reading this book right now. So I will talk to you later, guys, and happy reading, everyone.